welcome to the Captain Bite Show, the show where I do the very difficult task of telling you whether the movie's worth the time or not and deserve a spot in your movie collection. As always, I am Ash, and today we're going to be talking about Rurouni Kenshin, Part 1, Origins. So if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to go ahead and buy a reverse blade sword on Amazon, because I'm impressionable and bad with money. So Rurouni Kenshin Part 1 Origins is of course the live-action adaptation of the anime of the same name, which in turn was an anime adaptation of the manga of the same name, in which we follow the story of Kenshin Imura, a former assassin who made a name for himself in the Imperialist army as Batosai the Manslayer, someone who killed countless numbers of victims with no emotion, no remorse, until he, felt remorse and decided, you know what, I'm gonna turn a new leaf. I vowed never to kill again. He decides, you know what, I'm gonna save lives instead of taking them. And that's an oath he takes as he wanders around Japan with a reverse blade sword protecting the people without killing any of the people, when all of a sudden he finds home in the form of a struggling dojo where he meets numerous friends along the way and has to stop an evil opium dealer with terrible hair and, go like that a lot. And this movie had my curiosity because on the one hand, I'm a big fan of the Rurouni Kenshin anime. I was introduced to that a few years ago by a coworker and I fell in absolute love with it. Then on the other hand, I've never liked a live-action anime adaptation before. I think we're finally getting them right, but I've never been like, ah yeah, that. They've always felt like shitty fan films to me. But when Funimation was all like, hey yo, we're releasing the trilogy in theaters, you gonna come? I was like, I got nothing better to do on my Monday night. I'll show up, I'll go check this movie out. I've heard good things, and you know what? Good things are true, because this movie's badass. I had a great time with this movie. This is how you get a live-action adaptation done. This is it. You remain faithful to the spirit of the source material, while of course changing things here and there to make sure it has that cinematic flair and can be pushed down into 2 hours. And then, you do that thing a lot of people don't do. You actually put a lot of effort into it, and it turns it into a movie that, well, it doesn't exactly live up to the anime in any way, shape, or form. Still manages to become an incredibly impressive feat that really had me wanting more. Story-wise, I was really impressed with this movie. It's really able to weave together a lot of different storylines from the actual source material into one tight, cohesive 2-hour story, while of course changing a lot of things. I mean, this movie takes a lot of liberties with the source material at hand, but those liberties aren't taken in a way that makes you go, oh, as a fan of the show, you're like, oh, you didn't do it exactly as I thought. They're taking it away to make it more cinematic and more gritty, and you end up being like, you know what? I'm fine with all these changes. In fact, I like them, because the way you changed it here, it doesn't shit on the manga and the anime and everything. No, it actually enriches it. It gives you a fresh new take while still remaining faithful to that spirit inside that makes you go, ah, yeah, that's Rurouni Kenshin. But it's also cinematic and gritty and dark, and oh my god. And as far as the actual characters go, I feel like while none of them really live up to the real charm of the ones that I've seen in the anime, I still thought the casting in this movie was really, really spot on. Everyone they got to play their roles was able to capture what really made those characters special, while at the same time giving them that cinematic, gritty flair, where you're like, that is Kenshin Imura, but that's cinematic Kenshin Imura, and I love him! I don't love him as much as anime version, but he's still really awesome, and he's badass, and oh my god, can he use a sword! And speaking of swords, that brings me to the absolute best part of this movie, which is that samurai sword fighting action. Just, the sword fights in this movie, people. Beyond incredible. Beyond incredible. They are so slick and fast and stylized and bloody and gritty. It feels like they took the anime. They took an awesome fight from the anime. They put it through one of those portal things. You know those portals like the Smurfs have in their movie where it's like, oh no, now we're in real life now. It feels like they just took the action, put it through that portal, and now it's real life. And it's incredible. It's some of the most insane sword fighting I've ever seen brought to screen. And if this is what to expect from this series, I can't wait to watch the next 2 movies, because I'm assuming the sword fights are just going to get better and better and more badass and slicker. Oh my god! I mean, I just gotta give props to this film as a whole for having such impressive filmmaking feats. Because whereas a lot of anime adaptations, they just reach for the bottom of the barrel with their budget and how much they care. They're like, yeah, see, that's a Titan. Yeah, see, that's a Titan. It looks terrible, but that's a Titan. Not in this movie. Not in this movie. They actually tried in this movie. It shows everything from how beautiful this film is shot. The cinematography is incredible. To that fight choreography I was talking about. This was done by people who clearly had a passion for this source material and clearly wanted to do it justice, and they did in an impressive filmmaking feat that not only can I recommend this to fans of the show, I can recommend this to people who just like good samurai action flicks, because as it stands, this is one of the best ones I've seen in a long while, so just applause all over the board. So in the end, Rurouni Kenshin Part 1 Origins is a great time. What an impressive feat this movie is. I mean, does it completely live up to the anime in every way, shape, and form? I'd say no. I still find the anime to be superior. I like the way the anime handles the ever-growing story better, and I like how charming the characters are in the anime. But where it stands, as far as cinematic adaptations go, this is beyond solid. I mean, all the characters are great. The story itself, yeah, it changes a lot, but you don't get angry at it because those changes lead to a cohesive and fresh take on the story. Well, you know, the second act does kind of chug along a bit, but it makes up with it with some of the most insane samurai action I've ever seen brought to screen. I recommend this movie to everyone. If you are a fan of Rurouni Kenshin, you're probably going to really like this movie. If you're just a fan of a good samurai flick, you're also going to really like this movie. And you should also really watch Rurouni Kenshin if you haven't. Either way, everyone go see this movie, appreciate it, and then go home and see how much samurai swords are on Amazon. In Funimation, do you know what would be awesome? If after this whole little theatrical run we have with this trilogy is all over and stuff, how about we just release a nice trilogy box set Blu-ray? Like, of all the movies, let's do all that. I would buy that in a heartbeat. And if you released it alongside like a Blu-ray box set of the entire animated series, I would also buy that in a heartbeat. Basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of money to be made here, so let me give you mine. Rurouni Kenshin Part 1 Origins gets a B+ out of 10. Hey everybody, thank you so very much for watching my video review for Rurouni Kenshin Part 1 Origins. I want to hear what you think. Have you seen the movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you going to see it? Are you going to skip it? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section below because I want to hear them. And as always, guys, if you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, be sure to follow me on all my social medias, but most importantly, stay classy. I forgot my mug, I'm running away.